more than 18 months ago. So even after signing the Doha peace deal, the United States had 18 months to issue visas and necessary documents to the Afghans who had worked with the US and allied forces to offer them refuge and take with them to the United States or other countries. But why was the whole process delayed? Why was so much red tapeism? And what were actually the reasons that they caused a delay in issuing travel documents and visas to the Afghans by the US embassy, the US official, as well as other countries, including EU member state, NATO member states. In fact, the United States and its allies, particularly the European Union member states, do not want a Syria-like large number of Afghan refugees. They don't want to take the Afghans in large number. And they have also openly talked about it. The European allies of the United States are not happy with the possible arrival of refugees to Europe, particularly to rich countries of the EU such as Germany, France, and even the UK, which is even out of the EU now. So this drama at the airport will help the United States and its allies justify leaving behind a large number of Afghans who could have qualified for refuge in EU and United States of America or other allied nations such as Canada and Australia. The evacuation drama also helped the United States to justify a peace deal and early evacuation to its own population in the United States. The taxpayer, whose more than $1 trillion were spent on a useless war in Afghanistan with almost zero outcome. When you look at the human development, the education, or women's rights in Afghanistan of today, they have not achieved any major milestones, keeping in view the large sums of money that they have spent in Afghanistan. So in order to take the focus away from these kind of debates and focus it merely on evacuation, the whole media system in the Western world are currently talking about only evacuation, only about Kabul Airport. People coming to Kabul Airport, leaving, unable to leave. There are children, there are women. The whole story of Afghanistan that is more than 20 years old, more than $1 trillion, and almost 2 million people killed, is or has been reduced to a single event at the Kabul airport, and the people are only talking about Kabul airport. If you look at the YouTube, if you look at the media, everywhere, social media, mainstream media, traditional media, expert, everybody is talking about Kabul airport as if the Taliban are attacking the US and allied forces and they are running from Afghanistan or what. No, this is not the case. In fact, the United States and its allies have asked the Taliban to offer them a security umbrella, which the Taliban have now offered outside the gates of the Kabul airport. Inside the Kabul airport is with the US and its allies. Outside, the routes leading to Kabul airport are being guarded by the Taliban forces, and the Taliban forces are getting instruction from the United States forces telling them what to do with the people. They have been asked to not allow people without proper documents, visas, passports, travel documents, to even proceed towards the airport, because the large number of people who don't have documents will create problems for the US forces and allied forces who are currently guiding or supervising the evacuation plan. So whatever the Taliban are doing outside on the routes, checking people, asking them to show the travel documents, they are doing it on the request of the United States of America. With the Kabul airport issue, which is actually manufactured for the media, limelight, that the media should be only doing that. Some other small issues like women rights and what will happen to minorities and this kind of things are being discussed in Afghanistan, in the media over Afghanistan right now. Nobody is talking about the achievements, the 20-year achievements of the elite forces, the more than $1 trillion spent. And this also serves the Taliban. Right now, the Taliban are breaking, or they are signing some peace deals or kind of inclusive government. The airport drama is also benefiting, the Taliban. The Taliban are currently discussing a power deal with former President Hamid Karzai and the chief executive of Afghanistan, Abdullah. No one is talking about the former president who was till August 15, the president of Afghanistan, Ashraf Ghani. Ashraf Ghani has taken refuge in the UAE. No one is talking over him right now in the media. Why he had to leave for the UAE? Who told him to leave for the UAE? Were they the Americans who asked him to leave and gave the Taliban a safe passage to the presidential palace? It seems like there was a deal, and the US was actually dictating most of the terms of this deal. The takeover of Kabul, particularly without a bullet fired against the Taliban, or the Taliban firing bullets against its enemies, could have never been possible without the support of the United States of America. So the deal that Ghani is no more in Afghanistan has been reached out by the United States of America. So the US is really part of the game. It's not out of the game. Moreover, the mayhem or the crisis that they show on the media at the Kabul airport is also taking the attention of the Western media away from a peaceful conquering of Afghanistan. The Taliban have conquered the whole of Afghanistan without any major resistance by the more than 300,000 American-sponsored Afghan security forces. And right now, nobody in the Western media are ready to seriously look at the 20 years futile wars and analyze it. While most of the time in the Western media is being given to personal stories of the people going to the Kabul airport, taking planes, landing somewhere in Europe or Kazakhstan or Turkey or the UAE. So the whole thing looks like a media drama. Serious topics are not being discussed, and the Kabul airport story has remained the lead story ever since the Taliban took over. We hope that this story ultimately reaches its logical conclusion or illogical conclusion, but this is such a wasted time of the Western media, and this also shows how myopic, how short-sighted, how unwise the Western media managers and the people who run the Western media journalism are. They are simply following infotainment than real hard, exclusive, investigative journalism. And this is the tragedy of the Western media and its journalism standards.